Hello there guys, this is Firespeeder X with Let's Talk about Lion King. And now you guys might ask what a Let's Talk is, but that's when I talk about the last Let's Play I played, which is The Lion King. So yeah, this is Let's Talk about The Lion King. First of all, I'm going to go through my personal opinions about it, and then I'm going to go to viewer questions, the viewer question parts. Okay, first of all, my personal view about the game is it's a pretty good game. I really like the 16-bit remixes of the songs, they are marvelous. And the gameplay is hard, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty hard game, according to the fact I played on the hardest difficulty level. And my final boss battle was a little bit of a disappointment for me. It was a good disappointment, but yeah, you get the point. I stocked up on lives for so long just for that part, and then I wasn't even hit by the boss. I was hit by a rock, but yeah, I recovered that, so I finished the game with full health, and full life, and full... and full continues you can have up on the end of the game. Pretty sad. It was like I have prepared for this race my entire life, and then everyone had broke their legs. It was good actually for the lead of the video, but it would have been cooler. It would have been cooler if the boss actually gave me a challenge. Otherwise, I have referred this Let's Play as the Cursed Let's Play. This is because almost every episode, except the last one, has had some kind of troubles. The first one had trouble with... yeah, you know about that. The second one actually had the worst troubles. Yes, that one has the worst troubles. You don't know how bad that was. First of all, lightning stuck. Then I tried to play it through. I sucked hard. Tried to record it, but there was no sound in the game. Yeah, that's right. The background sound and the sound in the game overall wasn't there. You couldn't in any way use that as Let's Play material. It was horrible. And the third one, you know about that. The ending sound was messed up, and the fourth one, post commentary, and the fifth one also suffered from something. I don't know. I don't remember every single video. I can't remember every single video, but yeah, and the second last one actually had the trouble that I had to post commentary again. Yeah, I had to do that again. I had to do it again. It was horrible. Yeah, that, and on top of that, the episode was long, so it was 25 minutes or so, but with post commentary, it was... oh, you don't know how awkward it felt to do 25 minutes of post commentary, especially when you knew that you messed up but had to pretend that you was playing it at that very moment. Yeah, you know what I mean. And then the final episode. The final episode where nothing went wrong. The final episode when everything went perfect. That felt like... it felt like the curse had been broken. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful episode. Short, clean, no mistakes. Okay, it was one mistake when I got hit and had to redo a part of the level, but yeah, the boss battle was flawless. It was probably the most flawless. I have seen a lot of YouTube videos about that boss battle afterhand, and that the boss fight I did, it was more flawless. It was quicker in any way. It was like, wow, it's even possible for me to do it this way. It was like, I sucked in that game for so long, and then I was successful. Overall, the graphics in the game they are awesome. They are not the best. They are not the best for the Super NES, but the Stampede stage, that stage was. The graphics in that stage beats pretty much everything I've seen on a Super NES. And I've seen a lot. For example, right now I'm Let's Playing Super Castlevania 4 and that game also has some great graphics. You will soon see the greatest display of how wonderful that graphic can be. There is like an entire stage dedicated to show how amazing the graphics for that game is, that the graphic motor. Yeah, it's. But the Stampede stage beats it all. That stage is like, it's beautiful. And then the music, I love it. 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 It's not as good as the real music in the movie, but hey, it's the Super NES period. Hello. You can't expect them to do that. It's like impossible that time. Now they would be able to, but I don't think they would anyway. Except the music in that game sounds better than the most music in most modern games. Yeah. Another thing, and about the gameplay is also great. The gameplay is wonderful in this game. I played on hard difficulty. It's actually a lot easier if you go down a couple of difficulty levels, especially the combat stages. And also the rocks at the end of level, the third to last level, the rocks are not hurting so bad. That's, you don't know how much that helps. Okay, you probably do, as you see how much I sucked at it. And yeah, the final boss is, he's so easy on the easier difficulties. You saw how hard I pounded him on the hardest difficulty, but that was just because I had a lucky stroke. It was, words can't explain how awkward it felt to beat that boss so easy. And yeah, overall, I'm giving the game I am giving the game on a scale 1 to 10, I give it a 7.5. The game is good. It's pretty close to the movie, but it's not a masterpiece. It's not a Super Mario game. It's not a Super Mario platformer at all. It's not a Super Mario platformer. It's not a Castlevania platform. It's not one of the great platforming games. It's not a great platformer. Castlevania is also an action game, so it's not a Castlevania action game. It's, yeah, you know what I mean. It's not a great title. It's not like you have great. It's a licensed game. You have like these, oh god, this game is going to be horrible expectations, but it's surpassing those expectations. It's a very good game, but it's not a top game. It's not a AAA title. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's that cool game that you get, and yeah, you play through it, have a nice time, but it's not something you're going to tell your grandchildren about. Now it's time for the part that maybe some of you have waited for. I'm going to answer the questions from the fans, and there's actually only one person who has sent in questions, but I'm not surprised as this is the first Let's Talk I'm doing on the second. No, it's the first Let's Play game I'm doing. Yeah, the questions is from Hilo Catopai. I don't know Catopai. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I hope I did it right. The first question is, what's your favorite 8-bit version of the Lion King songs? Well, I think you mean 16-bit, as this was for Super NES. 8-bit is more. 8-bit sounds a lot different than this do. This would not be possible on an 8-bit system, the music here. But beside that, the best song is. You will get surprised because I have said some other stuff to you about my favorite song from Lion King. I've told you that Be Prepared is my favorite song, but my favorite 16-bit cover is I can't wait to be king. Yes, that one is priceless. Yeah, and now it's time to answer the second question that the person asked, and that question is: what is your views on Nintendo or whoever made it? And yes, it's obviously not Nintendo who made this game, as Nintendo don't do licensed games, but okay, usually they don't. I think they might have done it once. No, I'm not sure. It depends on if the original Donkey Kong can be counted as a licensed game, as well. Used to wrongly see the similarities with King Kong in that one game. I think they even got sued because of that. Think they won the. Yeah, I think I won the court too, though. Well, making a game that is really hard and aimed at kids. Many controls must have been thrown. Well, actually, back in the days when you got a game, that was probably the only game you would play that weekend. It was the only game you would play that weekend. It was like, yeah, because renting video games was also really big at that time, so many kids just rented games. And even if they bought it, that game was your weekend. I know a lot of people has talked about this before, but it's worth to mention that back in the days it didn't matter. Yeah, I think, well, many great names have taken this up. Yeah, you will know this that I'm talking about by heart by now if you are. But yeah, back to this. This is why back in the days when you bought a game, it didn't matter if the game was hard, if it was easy, if it was bad, or if it was good. That single game was going to be your weekend. You sat and played that game the entire weekend. The video game industry worked a lot different now than it did back then. Games was really short, so to make the game worth to buy you had to do it hard, like really hard, like if you die you go back to the start hard. This was common at that time, and the Lion King could, by its really high amount of continues and really high amount of lives, if you play that easy, be considered a pretty easy game for its time. The bane of many kids must have been the second stage, though, with the flamingo ride. It's oh god. Oh god, how I hated that when I was a kid. I hated that part with a passion. Yeah. So, well, actually, the difficulty level in this game is not so significant for that time. It was a really easy game. It was not easy for its time, as you could choose to play on the more difficult levels. But it was not an easy ride either, as many of you might expect it. Yeah, many of you. Today, this game is considered really hard, but back in the day, this game was human. It was a pretty easy game. It was not really easy. It was, yeah, it was fair in its time, but now it's seen as unfair. Like the rocks that one hit kill you. That was normal at that time. Back in the days, every game was like, I want to be the guy. Every game was that hard. Mean, come on, the only way to enlarge the gameplay was to make the game harder. It's not like now when you have pretty much no boundaries when you're doing a game today compared to what you had back in the days. The game was small, okay? You had to do the game small. You couldn't do a full exploration of world. The first game that did that was The Legend of Zelda for the 8-bit game. Before that, no one really knew how to do things like that. And even then, it was hard. You had like no room at all. A game with that graphic level as that game has could not be too long at that time. It's a whole different thing. The industry has changed also. As I said before, when you picked up a game, you played it the whole weekend, you would eventually beat the game. And yeah, you didn't get new games that often as you do today. It was not like they are pooping out AAA titles as they are now. Now you see like every month there's coming a AAA title, and every month there's not coming a AAA title. It's like, oh man, this month is so dry of good games. There's no good games coming this month. Come on, back in the days, they could take months between good games coming out. It was insane. It's not in any way like now. Yeah, the answer of the question short is the industry was different, very, very different back then compared to how it is today. Today, you had to beat the game pretty quick. The game is more cinematic, it's more story driven today. So making a game hard today is actually just a breaking clause for the story, which many games think are. Yeah, the main point of many games today is the story, obviously. The only games I think have a nice balance of story and difficulty is Japanese RPGs, or as they are called today, Eastern RPGs, as some other countries in Japan are doing them now, but I still call it JRPGs as most of the good ones are actually for Japan. Where they're both story driven and hard. That's what I love about them. Yeah, the market is different. There's more focus on the cinematics in the game. So obviously, the games are easier today to not have those giant bricks stop classes that stop you from playing. Yeah, I think that's the short answer for this. The industry has changed. Games was harder back then because everything was about difficulty, as yeah, games was short, but they had to be difficult to offer the players some kind of gameplay for their money. They had to be like that to be worth the price. Okay, now I'm going to thank some people for this. First of all, I'm going to thank Milo for. Without him, I wouldn't even have started Let's Playing. He has been a source of inspiration for me, and also he helped me a little bit about this Let's Play. As yeah, I had some problems during. Only he knows about this part, but about don't know if it was 9 months ago or something. I had troubles with. I was going to start Let's Playing. He gave me some advices, and then the Dazzle screwed up. Yeah, my Dazzle that I used to record screwed up. And he has supported me, kinda encouraged me to do this anyway. So yeah, I tried to fix it by my own when time was right. Also known as when the summer started, when I had time to do shit like that, and then I fixed it. And then I asked him for some more advice, and he has been such a great source of help for me. And then I want to thank. Yeah, I want to thank Hilo Cathtite or whatever. I can't pronounce that name. Cause my English is bad. My English is the worst English in the world. But yeah, I want to thank her as. Well, she has also encouraged me when I actually started Let's Playing as. Well, she follows my Let's Plays, and that's really what drives a Let's Player. If someone follows them or not, comment on them sometimes, yeah, the usual stuff, and I'm really thankful for that as well. And yeah, see you tomorrow when I will do the next episode of my Let's Play of Castlevania. It will be so good. It's going to be good. I have a really good feeling about this one. So, see you tomorrow and have a nice day and all of that stuff. Goodbye. And on Sunday, the most important thing, I'm going to start Let's Playing Paper Mario blind. Yes! But the first episode will not be blind. But have a nice day and good. Bye.